Recent news articles, Ms. Bresch, have documented a lobbying effort on behalf of Mylan to add the EpiPen to the list of preventative medical services managed by the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force. Preventative medical services are those that prevent illnesses before they cause symptoms or problems, as I understand it. Currently, treatments receiving a grade of A or B by the task force are required to be offered to the consumers with no out-of-pocket costs. Supporters of adding the EpiPen to the list of preventative medical services argue that this measure will help consumers get access to EpiPens with no cost sharing. So, Ms. Bresch, will adding the EpiPen to the preventive medical services list, will it do anything to lower the actual price of the device, the overall reason for our hearing today?
So the preventative drug list, as you've mentioned, would make sure everyone has access. But what we've now done with the generic drug and dropping the price to $300, we believe provides that similar access, but believe that obviously the importance of epinephrine auto-injectors should be part of the preventative drug list.
So you are still pushing to have it on that list?
I absolutely
Even
still
with
think
the
it
generics?
should have, yes.
Okay. Do you believe that spending lobbying resources to add the EpiPen to the preventive medical list and thus shifting the price of the drug to other sectors is a realistic solution to stem rising drug prices?
But, sir, that's why what we did was so unprecedented. It wasn't to shift. We dropped the price by half by introducing the generic.
But you still want it on that list?
Just to ensure that just showing the importance
Well, why
of
not
the
reduce the
epinephrine.
price instead of spending those lobbying resources?
So there's been, the lobbying resources have been primarily about creating access and getting epinephrine in public places like schools and eventually just like a defibrillator. I mean, what we recognized is that when you need, 1 seconds count and they should be where you are. So
Absolutely. We don't disagree with that at all. And we appreciate the fact that the product can be there and can be useful. But this list also, I think we need to plumb the depths of that. If you've gone the generic route, we've had some questions on that. But the list also, won't this in fact just shift the full cost of EpiPens to government payers, such as Medicaid, Medicare, health insurers, employers, eventually leading to an overall increase in premiums of other copays on consumers?
no, sir. We believe by putting the generic in like we have at $300, over 85% of our patients pay minimal out-of-pocket costs. So by now reducing it by half, it even reduces that further. So this is not all about cost shifting. It's just making sure everyone has access and understands the importance of epinephrine.
It certainly takes the pressure off of bad publicity for cost factor to get it paid for by Medicare, Medicaid, et cetera, out of the process. Let me shift over to Mr. Throckmorton, because there definitely is a concern about just the delay, the time period, the bureaucratic maze. Some drug companies are taking advantage of your agency's failure to approve more generic drugs. I think we've seen that. We're questioning that today. What can we do to expedite approvals to ensure we have multiple generic competitors to prevent drastic price spikes? And we heard testimony in our last go-around that said it's a lot of bureaucracy. What are we doing to get to that?
So thank you for that question. I want to take issue slightly with that characterization of where we are as an agency. There was a time when our resources were not able to keep up with the applications that we were receiving for true generic drug products, not authorized generic, but true drug products approved under the abbreviated new drug applications. There was a time in 2012 when we did have the backlog. We had over 4,400 applications that needed to be reviewed. In 2012, with Congress's help, we got additional resources, allowing us to hire new individuals, put in place new processes. The result of that have been over 2,200 approvals or tentative approvals since 2012. So we have, in fact, made progress in reaching conclusions regarding approvals of true generic products.
What about the markets? Are you doing anything to identify markets that are at risk of becoming monopolized by single generic?
Absolutely. We first and foremost agree with everything that's been said today about the power of competition and the importance of us taking that challenge on, us making it possible to develop new products. In particular, when you're talking about products like auto-injectors for epinephrine, the public health value is even higher. And we understand for those products we need to put particular attention. We've done several things specifically about difficult to develop products like the epinephrine auto-injector. I mentioned a couple of them earlier. The guidances that we have put out, talking about how to put these products on the market efficiently, quickly, how we're going to review the data, the kinds of information you need. In addition, we meet with any company that comes to us with a product that has this public health value. We offer to meet with them individually. We offer to respond to their questions in writing. We have put out.
Well, I appreciate that. My time has expired, but I would make a statement that if there are companies that are having difficulty, I certainly think that members in this panel would love to hear directly from them and then come directly to you.
I would
we'll
welcome
ask those questions because we want to deal with this. We want to have the competition. We want to see the price reduced, and we don't want to have hearings like this on a regular basis.
If there are those